Hello everyone, I'm Manna. This is Maru. There's a Momo in the window. And the kittens have fucked off somewhere. They're probably asleep on the cat tree in the living room, being completely honest. I was cleaning out there this morning, and apparently I cut myself on something. Well done, me. And they've been napping on the cat tree ever since I finished cleaning in there. So, we're back with the letter today. And when we last left off, we had just started Marianne McCullough's chapter. Went out with some friends after accepting a job offer. And the friends have left for the evening, and now we are alone with this douche canoe. I mean, gentlemen. Real quick, we'll read our journal update here. So we're back on October 18th. An email from the Wrights came, requesting Marianne McCullough's expertise for their home. What seemed like an innocent commission made a different impact on the famous designer after seeing a picture of the Wright Misses. I English speak good. Okay, so there's that update. Hi, Momo. That is my tea. Can you get your butt out of my face, please? And away from my tea? Please? Thank you. Keep going. Okay. Anywho. Alone with a stranger. I haven't seen him here before. Obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there, savoring his drink. With his whiskey served neat in one hand and lighter in the other, it doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet. And maybe I should go before he does look my way. That's definitely not whiskey. That's definitely wine. I don't know anybody who drinks whiskey out of a wine glass. Because he was pretty, and he was blonde. And those are two things plus alcohol never did me any good. And those two things, not those are two things. Blah, blah, blah. A thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and the dazed look in his eyes, he's as piss drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world, because he does. I hate Luke Wright so much. Almost dropped the cup.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see. Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Sure you are. Fat chance. But it doesn't matter. We both know how to play this game. And there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. Question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
AMF. That one I'm not familiar with. He looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep. He gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. Of course, the saying, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous, fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. No. Shut up, Dryer. You're not done. Don't lie to me. Fuck you. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he's come to call me, is 29, and I'm... What did I say it was again? Oh yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster. Because fuck it. If I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. A pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. And maybe it's just me, but we might as fucking well expend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice, too, if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
I have! Whoops. And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
It was also considered a sin in the 16th and 17th centuries. Yeah, eating chocolate was considered a sin in the 16th and 17th centuries. Or I could just be quoting factual factoids and not be right at all. You tell me. God, I miss Syndigo. St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. St. Lucy is the patron saint of the blind. I haven't been learning about saints that are associated with disabilities recently or anything. I haven't been interested in that, no. My current favorite is Saint Margaret, the patron saint of the disabled. Overall, I haven't been interested in those things. I don't know what you're talking about. I blame the Conjuring universe. If she were so lucky, anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
To get drunk with my friends? Though not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool. She had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
Yeah, women. Like your wife. So, she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes. It was not... I don't know what the true story is. I don't even know if she was a real person. But, patron saint of the blind. Eyes were gouged out, either by herself or by others. I couldn't tell you. Interesting, though. It is interesting.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He has a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy. She kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
St. Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream.
I'm gonna need some more tea.
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I'd need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard on the alcohol. But I always made it home. Sometimes with company. Of course, that always comes with complications, especially the real clingy ones. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers to the building security can't fix. I'm always nervous, though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. And the first few minutes when we enter my room are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Mac. So far, so good. Don't let him smell your fear under all that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later, and I'll never have to see him again, just like every other man before him. I'd like to say to myself that the men I've brought to my place were more scared than I was. Yet there is no fear when I look into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. When he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. And as long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have our little tumble in the sheets, he'll leave, we'll forget about it. If somebody asked what I really wanted, I would have told them that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolates and music, maybe an Irish castle. But all I really want is her. And that's never going to be a reality. That was my fault, of course. Because I was afraid. Because I was a coward. They would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life. And I had let her go. I can't even be bothered at the thought of her. Just a single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait.
What is it now?
Yeah, what is it now? What's going to be, Marianne? To sex or not to sex? Well, considering I know who you are, I'm clicking this one. Did I click that one before? I honestly don't remember. Hi. Hi, baby. Oh, hi, baby girl. Hi. You need attention, you know? I'm being turned into biscuits, guys. Don't send help. This is fine.
We're both drunk.
And?
This is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had? How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
Good. I hope it goes limp. Is that better? Yeah? Okay.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
Of course, he's annoyed at me for putting off our night of sexual congress. But no means no. And beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, he surprisingly simmers down soon enough. I was worried for a moment that he might try to force something. Instead, he makes a show of fixing his suit and smoothing down his hair before making himself comfortable on the nearest seat he could find.
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on. Dandelion tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
If it isn't for the absurdity of this turn of events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I have no taste. But in the end, I just laughed. All I got are cans of Korean ginseng and lemon balm, though. No dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wet the tea. That's 3 minutes to get the kettle to a boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to the guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? I doubt he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troy's on Mallory. It's still unusual by the time we're both seated on my bed with mugs of tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh.
You are just so precious. I love you so much. You're such a good girl.
This whole world is a cesspool.
He's not wrong. The dead air is telling when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, to spill about whatever issues that made us the fucked up person that we are today. And it is. But I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on someone else's shoulders. I love you. Isn't she precious? Sooner rather than later, we both pass out on my bed, mugs left forgotten on the floor. When I wake, whiskey is already gone. A bottle of painkillers and a note on the table are the only evidence that I wasn't alone last night. Thanks for the tea, Marianne. But how did he know her name? You don't even question where these are from, or just how he knew my real name. Just grateful for something to help with the hangover. Might as well. I have a job to do. It isn't often that I think about drinking on the job, but after meeting the Wrights yesterday, really makes me want to break my self-imposed rules. Because first off, fucking damn whiskey was a fucking damn Mr. Wright. Was fucking, not a fucking, was fucking. And to top it all off, they had somehow forgotten to inform me that they didn't own the Ermengarde mansion yet when they hired me. What? What sort of person does that?
Ugh, rich people.
Here's your answer. I could do nothing but twiddle my thumbs at this, however. Twiddle my thumbs and wait for the go signal. It's not like I can accept other small projects. This is a big job, and I should be ready to start on it at any time. Not to mention that my PA practically begged me to be patient and wait this out. It was a hard decision to agree, but I did so in the end. Besides, I'm doing this for the Ermengarde mansion, not for anything or anyone else. I'd have a headache whatever I do anyway. I'd go to the pub again, but seeing what happened a few days ago, I'd rather not end up in bed with another potential client. And it might be a huge leap in logic, but a library is the next best thing after the pub. I have to go there anyway. I need more books for Dad. Plus, I also need to return the ones I borrowed last time. Finding a new book or two to read for myself, while I have nothing to do, isn't such a bad idea either. So, on a Saturday morning, I find myself going to the only library in Luxbourne to hopefully cool off. I love the library. Support your local library, people. They host events and stuff. I said in the last video that my local library has a gentle yoga class. They also have a Lego event thing for kids on the weekends. The kids can go in and like play with Legos and stuff. It's awesome. Your library is such a good place to be. Please support your local library. Please. And read banned books. Always read banned books. I don't have a bunch of banned books on my bookshelf or anything that are... I mean, you can't really see them. They kind of pixel out, don't they? Yeah, but I got a lot of banned books up there. I'm not subliminal messaging or anything. Read banned books. I'm being straightforward about it. Read banned books. Support your local institution, i.e. the library. After returning in Urzuli and a poetry book by Henry of Toad Brady, I asked the librarian about several titles on my list, though I don't have much luck on that front. Dialogue with Death has already been snatched, and she bluntly said that she did not keep our mathematical universe for someone who didn't return books on time. Fair. I make headway, at least, when I ask about Siege and Rendition of Havana by Jacobo de Pezzulla. Names are hard. If you count her snarling and pointing at the history section as headway, that is. The history section is devoid of any other except for myself and a redhead, though I'd wager a guess that Red's just passing by to get to the classical literature section. So many books, so little time. Scanning the books and seeing so many wonderful titles gives me great pleasure. Agreed! And that's when I spot it.
Hello, sailor. Why don't you come to Mama?
It's not the naval battle book I was looking for, no. Even better. The newly acquired History of Luxborn Architecture, first edition too. I know I just have to get it. I have been waiting to get my hands on the book for so long. The fact that there is only one copy proves to be a problem, though, when Red reaches out for the same time as I do.
I think I had this first, miss.
I can only stare her down as she refuses to let go of the book. Refusing to let go of it as well, I raise a brow at her in hopes that the fact that I was significantly taller than her would intimidate the girl. Even then, she refused with a rebellious look.
This isn't exactly light reading, miss. I mean, do you even know which architect was at the forefront of 18th century Irish architecture?
A beat. She blinks and I can't help the smirk on my face, which is wiped off when she opens her mouth.
Edward Lovett Pierce, who established the Palladian style through his work with Castletown House and the Irish Houses of Parliament. This bridge was destroyed in this year to delay French troops while under the regency of Mary of Guise.
This is not what I was expecting. Let's be honest, how many people would know these history facts? Aside from me, anyway. I think she's a history teacher, if I remember right.
Going right to the obscure ones, aren't you? Easy enough. Tullybody Old Bridge in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, on the January of 1560, if we want to be specific.
Suddenly, it's a game where we throw these history questions and facts at each other, back and forth in hushed tones unless we want to be thrown out of the library. After a while, it goes from some strange competition into this strange but friendly banter. If it could be called that. But as fun as it is, the exchange soon slows down until we're grinning at how odd this whole scene is.
Marianne McCulloch, my desire for potatoes doesn't quite match what the stereotypes suggest.
Ah! God, I love potatoes. I'm also Irish.
Rebecca Gales, the Scots' supposed hatred for the English wasn't enough to stop me from teaching their little spawns.
By then, we had forgotten about our little tug of war, although she still holds the book in her hands. I had let go of it without realizing when she answered my first question.
History teacher, then?
Got it in one.
No wonder you gave me a run for my money. Now, if we're talking about architecture, I'd blow you out of the water. You're from where? Luxburn Uni?
Oh no, just St. Goretti's.
Ah yes, St. Goretti. You'd think a school would choose a more appropriate saint to name themselves after, especially when they have very young students. I'm not familiar with St. Goretti. I've been kind of focused on Lucy and Margaret. There was another, there's two more and I can't remember their names, but one was the saint of arthritis and arthritis-like conditions, and the other was the saint of deformities. But I can't remember their names. But I remember Lucy, because the nun 2 specifically, and I remember Saint Margaret because she's the patron saint of the disabled. So I'm very connected to that name. It sticks in my head. But the other two are just kind of I know the names, but they're not coming forward for me to remember them. So it is what it is. I'm not familiar with St. Goretti, though. I should look into that. I do find learning about religion fascinating. It's very interesting. I myself am not religious. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. I'm agnostic. I believe in a little bit of everything.
And I'm guessing you're an architect, if you're so confident about the subject.
Interior designer, Miss Gales.
Former architect.
Please, just call me Rebecca. You aren't one of my students, are you?
Marianne, then.
I could have said that I was an architect, but there's no point in explaining why I wasn't one anymore.
So, I've never seen you before. I'd like to think I've met every history aficionado in town.
I blame the rock I've been hiding under, of course. That, and I'm usually only here on the weekdays if time allows. Work often has me meeting clients on the weekends.
That must be interesting work.
It allows for some creative freedom, sure. But it's like working with children sometimes. Though you probably have it harder working with actual children. The hardest part is convincing them that your idea is their idea.
Feel that.
That sounds exciting.
It is!
But isn't that true for any workplace, though? We just cross our fingers and hope there aren't any man-children in charge of important things. Any big projects right now? I can't imagine that interior designing is a frequent thing.
I'm working on the Ermengarde mansion. Lucky me. That mansion. Intach. Wonderful. Breathtaking. I can't wait to start in it. Now that is beautiful architecture.
A pause. It looks like she wants to say something at my mention of the house. I'm not surprised. That place is certainly popular with the locals, especially with the urban legends attached to it. In the next second, though, she seems to think better of it and drops what she's about to say.
So, do you have a portfolio or anything I can take a look at? I'd love to see your designs. Maybe you have some on a tablet. I've met some designers before, and they're always going crazy over these virtual room apps or another.
A tablet? Please. Callicrates didn't need those silly eye-tabs when he built the Parthenon. I certainly don't need one to design a house.
The computer back my place is all I have. Why should I buy such an expensive gadget that will just get outdated within the year when what I have is just as functional and doesn't require updates? The traditional way had a far more personal touch, in my opinion. Not to mention those smartphones are awful tools of procrastination. I'm getting better at using mine to help keep me from procrastinating. Sorry, I gotta adjust. I know, you're using my boobs as a pillow right now. Yeah. I can't even count on one hand the number of people I see going outside only to have their eyes glued on the things. And fuck touchscreens. They're evil things that make typing, which should have been a simple task, harder. I made my keyboard bigger. My keyboard takes up half of my fucking phone screen, so I'm not fat fingering it all the time.
I do have an online portfolio if you'd like. I can...
Speaking, or thinking of the devil, seems to have summoned it, because before I can even carry on, Rebecca's attention wanes as she pulls out her mobile phone. What I can only assume is a call. She gives me an apologetic look before she's standing up and excusing herself. Off farther into the aisles she goes for some privacy. I do my best to give it to her as well, trying to tune her out.
Well, is something wrong? Lunch at the coffee house? Sure, I can make it. I'm not too far. I can be there in 10.
But with how quiet the surrounding is, she can't blame me if I overhear snippets of her conversation. When she returns with a sheepish look on her face, I know that our friendly chat has been cut short.
Sorry, I have to go and meet with some friends.
It's fine. Totally fine. No need to even apologize.
About the book.
Her embarrassment increases twofold when she realizes she's still holding on to the history of Luxborn architecture. I don't give her time to think about it as I put a hand up and shake my head. Fishing out a pen and paper from my bag along with one of my business cards, I hand them over to her.
You know, I'm busy with work, so I might not even be able to take a peek at it anytime soon. You can go ahead and have it, but you'll have to ring me up when you're returning it just so I can snag it right away. Deal?
She makes quick work, penning her number down and handing it back to me with a grin.
Deal. Just message me during school hours, of course. You have a good day then.
You too.
With Rebecca gone, I'm left alone standing in the history section. Although my original plans were simply to sit down and read a good book, our little pop quiz, if you could call it that, made the time pass by without any of us even realizing it. It was fun, And I do believe I made a new friend. Good job, Marianne. Even with the talk of lunch, however, I don't feel like grabbing a bite to eat. There's still other books to be read here, and I'm hoping to find something that will help me while I work with the rights. Something like How to Deal with Arseholes Professionally 101, just in case. I've dealt with a lot of uppity, snooty, and rich clients before, but it's still better to be safe than sorry. Because Luke Wright just takes the fucking cake, and he probably manages to eat it too. Seems the world is conspiring to keep me from my me time as my mobile vibrates in my pocket the moment I find something from the shelves of the classic literature section.
Marianne McCulloch, Charlie Rose Design speaking.
Rose Cooper here, Miss McCullough. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time or anything.
I'm sorry, did drinking tea offend you? I love you so much. You're just so sweet. I love you. I am so grateful to have you in my life. To have all of my kitties. Yes. You guys bring me so much joy. I miss Ame. But I love you guys. Thank you for helping me heal. Or at least trying.
But I just wanted to check in and tell you that we've got the clear to hand over the documents.
I expected that line to take longer.
Madam Wright told us that we should forward the floor plans to you.
Already? How did they go through the process so fast? Surely there's so much red tape to even acquire the forms in the transferring of rights. No matter how rich the rights are, it shouldn't be this quick, right?
So, if I can just have your email, I'll be sending them your way.
I'd actually like a physical copy of the floor plans.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm not at the office right now, but I can inform Miss Santos of your request.
I'll make sure to drop by the office after lunch if that's fine.
Not a problem. Right. Well, cheers.
Right. Cheers.
I don't know. I just don't. Is there some sort of deeper miscommunication when we last met? These things take time. It's been, what, a day? Less than that even? There isn't even a point in trying to make sense of these people who seem to be larger than life. All right. Whew. I'm going to call it here. Then we come back, we'll continue with Marion's part of the story as we begin working on the Ermengarde mansion. I feel like I don't remember a lot of her part. I remember the whole thing with Luke. I'm sorry. I'm using OBS to record. And I'm not streaming or anything. It's just recording. And Boyo is typing in my fucking Twitch chat. And I can see it on OBS. Oh, that's fucking funny. He's letting me know that he needs me when I'm done recording. Okay, on that note, I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. Remember to do something nice for a stranger today. You just might save a life. Bye.